Good evening. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. We are just going to be hanging out and drawing today. Art. Like, I gotta get my drawing gloves on. And we'll get right to work on the slowest line art you've ever seen. It's fine. Maybe. Oh man, this one glove is like sewn sideways. So today I learned that there is a tea native to North America that is made from holly leaves. Not any holly leaves. It's called a Yupon holly. And they make it into tea, and it's pretty good. I was reading a bunch of reviews on it, and everybody's like, oh, it won't make you jittery. You won't be jittery. And I was like, okay, but I drank it and I was jittery, and I'm not jittery with coffee, so. Built diff. Definitely built diff. Let's get to art. Art and art streaming. Doing some art. All right. Smooth brain. No winkies. Not a single winky here. Thank you for the sub hobo. Welcome in. Good evening. How are you today? My brain is spacing out. I have done like nothing today. I think the daylight savings time really got me messed up because I'm currently just peeling an orange. But I got nothing done today. And I feel like I've just been hit by a truck regardless. So that's fun. Hopefully that goes away soon. I'm procrastinating, and I'll admit it. This is fine. Actually, I am gonna get my other drawing glove. I don't like this one. This one sucks. I'll be right back. I just had to astral project for a second, okay? I had to ascend to the astral plane. But it's fine. Woo. You know, sometimes you get a bag of clementines. Clementines? Mandarins? Clementines? Is there a difference between clementines and mandarins? The little easy peelable things. I don't know. Citrus. You get a bag of citrus and you peel it. And like, yeah, you're supposed to eat it slice by slice, but sometimes when they're the like real baby ones, I just rip it in half and eat it a half at a time, and it's really sour. Yeah, my brain really just went this evening. That's fine. It's fine. Where are even my buttons to Azuma in? Alright, Control Plus. Been a while. It's been a while since you came around. Your companion till the end. I gotta adjust. There's too many excess sounds in the mix today. Ah, that's why it's like tuned up to for the highest amount. That makes sense why that is so loud then. I need just the right amount of miscellaneous ambient noises in my lo-fi mix to be able to focus. Thank you. No more, no less, just the right amount. Hopefully that's okay. And now I get to try and not sit the wrong way at my own desk. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it, Mr. Krabs. We're doing art. I have white selected, so that's probably going to change some stuff. Why do I have this? Oh, that's a liner layer. Oh, I just never undid the reference layer. Okay, we're good. Wrapped up in pain is another proposition. Okay, where were we? We were doing the braid, and I think I had decided I didn't want to fill it in all the way. So I guess I start on the thing I'm terrified of. Well, no, I need to do a little bit more hair down here. But I'm terrified to do the face. I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up. It's fine, though. Not drawing would be worse than messing it up. So we draw. And I attempt to go faster than the other day. Because like I said, I didn't do anything today. Hello, Rosano. Good evening. Welcome in. We are just chilling while we do some art today. Doing some line work. Attempting to be faster than we did last time because I was super slow. Art, art, art. Okay. How do I... Yeah, I want some, like, asymmetry here. So that'll make that a smoother curve. You're searching up how to draw and you found this. Welcome! Yay! The algorithm has found me correctly. Hooray! What were you trying to learn how to draw? Just in general? I mean, whatever tutorial you end up looking at, I would always recommend saying, well, I always recommend that you give yourself the grace to make bad stuff. Because you're going to make bad art before you ever make good art. And a lot of times you're going to make good art and think it's bad art. So just keep making things and you will improve. And keep trying new things too. Try new techniques, try new things. It'll be great. Yeah, that should be fine. I was worried that came to a little too thin of a point down there, but that should be okay. I'm just gonna clean up the sides, and that part should be good. I guess the other tip I always have is don't avoid drawing stuff. How to draw hair, but you can't. So you want to draw hair where you can see the eyes, or you want to practice? I'm not following. Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding what I can help you with because I wanna understand and figure out how to help. So you're having some trouble drawing hair? I do find hair can be difficult. But generally the thing that helps me the most with hair is was learning that you don't need to draw every strand. Like you see on this illustration, there's a bunch of like real big pretty strands, right? And you might think, oh man, that sounds like a lot of work. But when I was sketching it, and I think I can turn my sketch, this is like a cleaned sketch layer. Do I have my messy sketch layer? No, I don't. I must have removed it at this point, but so let's say I could use even a brush as big as this to mark out what I want to do here. If it would not be on an eraser, that'd be great. Yeah, so I could use a brush as big as this to start drawing the hair, because the most important thing with hair is understanding that you don't need to draw every strand coming off of the head. My head is an egg shape like this, right? And then I draw my hairline in. So this character has a hairline that's like this. It kind of like comes down like that. I drew it a little higher so you could see it here, but that's the general. There's like a slight widow's peak and then it comes down. And there's a bunch of different hairlines. Some people have straight hairlines. Some people have like a big deep hairline. It goes in like that. You can mess with it. You can look up a bunch of different hairlines of how people's hair naturally grows. But generally it's something along the lines of it meets in the middle and it's roughly symmetrical, right? So that's your base. You draw your eye line in. But say you want to test out different hairstyles. You want to figure out, do they have bangs? Do they have anything that flies away from the face? Generally, if I'm drawing a hairstyle, I break it out into its base shapes first. So this character's staple shape is this M shape for the hair, for the bangs. So you start with an M shape, and then because the hair is tied up in the back, I just kind of have it expanding a little bit from the back of the head so that there's a good difference in texture there. And then I have my braid, which is just one wide thing going down, right? But generally, if I wanted to break this up, I could just break this up into its base shapes. I'll go a little smaller on the brush, but you've got your helmet part of the hair. So anything that's falling down, right? So say the hair goes like this. You could say it's coming around because it's wrapped around to a point here. And then your braid is just going to follow the line down. It's going to follow gravity. But you're thinking about where the hair grows out from the head. And some people overthink it and think I have to go like every individual strand. No, if you just draw in like a basic shape or silhouette for what you want your hair to look like, you'll have a good character design. Generally, I just started with, helmet shape, and then I knew I wanted an antenna, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool if I had another one in there. So you got one in there. We have like our little swoopies here, because that's a part of the character design as well. And from there, I just start breaking it up and giving it some movement, because in general, I want this part of the hair to kind of point to this a little bit, so I have it wrapping around. But generally with hair, I always find starting simple helps the most. Like, start simple. So you have your face and you're like, yeah. And you have your hairline and bangs, and you just decide where on the page do you want the hair. Don't overthink it and be like, hair doesn't work like that in real life. That's another thing. You are the artist. You have the power. Do what you want. You can have like crazy hair out to here, and that's fine. There was a phase in my life where all my characters had super long hair like that. They all looked like mermaids. They all looked like a mermaid. But I think just taking the time to say, okay, I want this general half of the hair to look like this, and I want the other half to look like that, and maybe it's shorter or it's tied up in the back and we have a ponytail like that, and it starts to look like hair, because you realize that the longer the hair gets, the more it's going to carry down to the ground. Now, there is one thing you should keep in mind, which is if you want to draw traditional, like, this is for traditional like white person hair, right? That's generally what you see the most of, but I always encourage artists to also practice drawing hair of people of color, of different nationalities, because there is underrepresentation of it, and it starts the same way. And having those foundational principles helps. So having the hairline like this helps. And say she has box braids, what I would do is decide, just like I would with stereotypical white person hair, how that is going to fall, right? But I know that box braids are a little thinner, a little heavier. So maybe I'll have them be a little tighter to the hairline. And I'll go in, and then you can go in and identify sections that are going to show more detail. So maybe you'll have braids here that show more detail, and the top of the head is going to have that box format, right? You don't need to draw every single braid. A lot of time also when people draw natural hair in like a fro state that are like 4C curls, they'll draw every single curl like this. Nah, just draw like a rough edge. A lot of times artists will also paint it, but they still have that part right here, right? And then you can go in and start adding some curls and shapes to the edge and texture to it, keeping in mind where that hair is growing from. Okay? So add more detail as you go, and make sure that your detail is focused in the correct points, because I had to actually stop myself on the braid here because I'm not drawing the line work. Because knowing how I'm going to paint it, I want to do like a soft watercolory look. If I go in and try to draw the line work on it, it's going to probably get more detailed and take away from the face, because there's going to be more lines in this braid by how I naturally draw than if I draw the face. So I actually just drew the outline for the braids. So it's a basics thing. You're thinking of it probably as the actual physical element as you know it and how it scientifically works, whereas you want to think of it how it visually works. Where are your detailed areas? Where are your less detailed areas? What's going to be a focus of your image? So for me, my face is the focus here. Light and dark is going to be a focus, and movement. So taking those into account will help you draw pretty much anything, including hair. Also starting simple and getting more detailed as you go. So you can take a chunk of hair and break it up into individual pieces, because this was just like a shield, and then I had some pieces sticking out and I had some pieces there, and I'm just trying to create some movement and asymmetry there. So sorry if that was a lot. I hope it was helpful. I'm not a fantastic explainer, but I do the best of my ability. Okay. And like, there's a line here that I have on my sketch that is hair, but I actually really like how it is right now. So I don't think I'm going to put that curl in. This I already decided I'm removing. That would be too much detail here. It's going to take away from the face. So what I'm probably going to do, instead of drawing this curl and this curl and this curl, even though it was fun to sketch, I'm probably just going to do one swoop to the side. When I explain stuff, people look at me weird. Yeah. I mean, especially if it's something you're interested in. I know a lot of times people may not be ready for a full info dump. You know, they're not ready for the full, like, oh my God, I know so much about this thing, and I am so ready to tell you whatever you need to know. And they're just like, oh, I thought it was like a 2-sentence answer. Oh crap, I'm here for a while. So particularly, that's why I kind of always try to wrap up what I'm saying with like a fragmented summary of like shapes, light, dark. It sounds insane, but it makes sense if you were there for the whole thing. I think. I hope it does. My brush might be too thin, but oh well. Maybe I'll do like one cut in there. No, even that feels like too much. Maybe we'll do something like that. Yeah. Is there anything special you're planning on working on drawing? Anything you're excited to draw? You just want to draw pretty ladies? Because I understand that. I like drawing a pretty lady every now and then too. I did find men's hair was very difficult to draw at some point. But you also kind of have to treat it like a helmet. It's just acknowledging when it comes in close to the head and having little details like stray hairs around the neck too is a thing for like short haircuts, pixie cuts, men's hair. Yeah. Long hair I think is probably the easiest to draw because you can get more abstract with it. And people are like, oh, pretty hair. Now, I personally feel that my method for drawing hair can be very triangly at times. So I'm hoping I can figure out something with the color that breaks that up a little bit. Because I tend to not like doing like that, like stuff like this in haircuts. Just because that's the vibe of my character. We got like slightly curly, wavy hair. But sometimes you get caught in your own head and you feel like you know how something should look or what motion something should have. And you're like, this is not good. It's bad. It's weird. And then you look at it like 2 days later. That's my biggest advice. If you look at a drawing and you think it's awful and you can't figure out why it's bad or what's bothering you about it, take a break. Work it as long as you possibly think you can, but then take a break and go and look at it. And then don't immediately look at it and be like, oh, it's bad, and trash it. Look at it and specifically point out to yourself each individual element you want to fix. And sometimes for me, it helps me to write it down because I'll get so intimidated by the things that I don't like in my drawing that I won't work on them or that I feel like it's overwhelming and I should just start over. Whereas writing down each thing makes the task a little bit easier to do. Hey, no problem. Dude, I gotcha. I used to ship Naruto Shippuden Sakura and Itachi Uchiha. That was my ship, was Itachi x Sakura. And I'm not ashamed, I read fan fiction of it. I did. It's real. I read it. Okay, we're a little thick on this end. I don't know. Something about this strand is bothering me. So maybe it needs a little more of a break here. Yeah, I think that'll bring it the movement. So you done did it? Done did what? What did we done did? Doug Dimmadome or Dimsdale Dimmadome? Too curved on the inside, yeah. I think it's more that it was like, it looked like a thick chunk. I was determined to break it up into 2 parts. Oh, no, I think I have an idea. I think it's losing some movement when it's too thick on the outside here because it's thin there. So I think if we just bring it down to a little shorter strand here, that should help. Because it should still be somewhat curved because it's curved by wind. Like, that's the idea with the shape. Sakura Itachi, yeah. Yeah. And I think the only other ships I had because I'm an old lady, but I had I have to fess up that for a while, so I read Vampire Knight as it was being published. And yeah, I shipped Yuki and Kaname for a long time. And then I didn't. And then I did because the story did something. I'm not actually grandma. I'm just old. Okay? I'm just old. I remember when Naruto was coming out in the States on Toonami. I watched the original airing of Full Metal Alchemist. No, not Brotherhood. The original one. Oldie. Yeah, I know. It's okay. We got people that come into chat and they teach me all the things that I should know. Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. Oh my god, there's like 4 a.m. Splashes. So Toonami back in the day at like 4 a.m. would not post, but they would have the ad breaks, right? And the way they would do it is there would always be, and you don't see this in anime anymore because they don't do this, but they would have a splash screen in anime. That was usually just like a basic screen with a logo or something. And sometimes they said something or it was like a tagline. And it was always like, I think the voice actor for... Oh my God. I'm forgetting the name. I'm forgetting the name of the fire dude. Forgetting the name. I want to call him McCree, but it's not. I feel like it's a Mustang. It was Mustang. Yeah. So it's always Mustang's voice actor being like, Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist, which you would hear just super loud with like a shink sound at 4 a.m. I thought your username was reference to it. Yeah. I mean, Merlin. You know what I get compared to all the time. Every time someone's like, oh my God, are you named after Konosuba? I'm older than Konosuba. I was here first. Or I get were you named after Minato Aqwah from Hololive? And I was like, I was here first. I mean, it's a very generic word, and I can't claim it. But I was here first. My SEO is ruined. I did watch the more recent season of Konosuba, and I didn't like it. That's my hot take. I didn't like the recent season of Konosuba. I feel like it's not funny anymore. Like I can tell it's going more into trying to follow the actual story of the light novels, I feel like, but it feels like they're just rehashing the same jokes. Also, it feels like Darkness's character has just completely changed. Like, she's a different character now. I don't know what is going on there. Oh, Rosano, I absolutely understand. I mean, not understand as far as anime watching, though I guess I used to do that. I used to, every summer, when I was off from school, I used to rewatch the entirety of Death Note in like 1 week. Just marathon it. Like, I would shut the lights off in my room and watch the entirety of Death Note and just be like, yeah! Oh, yeah. Hey, Deeps, what's up? Welcome to Art Stream. I know. Now that I have my computer mounted under my desk, I actually have enough space to like make art streams easier. Also, I'm shaking my leg, which is making my cursor move a lot. But I'm using my tiny drawing tablet that is ancient instead of the giant one that is on my desk as a monitor, because I need that to hold my camera for VTubing. I need that. $4,000 camera stand my ass. It's a good monitor though. Yeah, so I used to watch that. I was like a serial rewatcher of things. So I also used to rewatch pre-Shippuden Naruto over and over again. But I got tired of it. I think I eventually started watching up to like the Curry arc, and then I was like, I'm good. I am a total serial manga reader. Like, you know how there's surveys where they ask, how many hours do you spend on the computer a week? And everybody's like, oh, I'm going to put the like 6 to 10 hour slot. I'm kind of a degenerate, right? If you're like a PC gamer or something. I go through phases where I read manga. It'll be like multi-month phases where I'll read manga, right? I read like hundreds of chapters in a day. And it started in high school. I used to very happily like just sit at my computer desk for like 6 hours. Like I'd get home from school and I would sit at my computer desk and just load open a manga site that was not legal. And I'm not telling you to read illegally, but I'm not telling you not to. Do what works for you. And I would just read and read and read. And Bleach was definitely one of the ones that I used to reread all the time. I did go back recently and reread Bleach, and it really lost me at the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. The one they're doing the anime for now. I was like, yeah, I'm out. It's gone too far. It's gone too far. Like, I think the last good arc I enjoyed in Bleach was probably the Hueco Mundo arc. Oh, speaking of ships, oh my god, I used to ship Ulakiora and Orihime so hard. I was in that ship group. I was like, I was reading so many shoujo manga, and then I was just also reading Bleach, and I was like, come on, just kiss, just smooch, please. I need this. I need my emotionalist boy to find love. Ulakiora Hime, enjoyers unite. I need him to find love. But yeah, I think manga in general has been a huge part of my life, and I would be remiss to say that I'm always that person like, I'm a manga reader. Not to be like, I know what the story is before you, but to be like, hey, this is a very valid art form and it's great. Because I have ADHD and I can't sit and watch a shittily animated action scene or a still image of an internal monologue for 30 minutes, okay? During this, I'm just going to read the comic, okay? I'm just going to read the comic. Yeah. So I have been binge reading isekai, although this week I have been on a manga reading kick, and this week I have probably spent like 20 hours binge reading just trashy romance webtoons. Historical romance webtoons. And I mean, they're technically all still isekai, but what was like, I got through all of the like adventure isekai. I got through all of those. There's no more for me to read. I go through the list of the things that have come out and I read them all. And now I'm on to like the historical romance isekai webtoons. And I'm like, oh boy. Some of these are just... There's a wide range of content in these. Okay. Okay then, well. But I got so mad because one was tagged as a more mature series. And then I read like 200 chapters of the series. And I'm like, it feels like I read the series and they just cut out all of the scenes where they actually date. I hate this. It's just drama. Do I play any games? Oh, hell yeah, we play games. I play Elden Ring, and I play Battlefield 5, and I play Dark and Darker. What else have we played recently? I'm just going to read off my Steam list since it's right here. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 with my friend, and we play like once a week, and we're trying to get through tactician mode, and I'm just like, I'm in Act 2. Can I get Houston in my party already, please? He's so nice. Big druid elf man, can you please join my party? But other than that, I played Plate Up a couple of days ago, and it was really, really fun. We got it like a smooth machine of efficiency. We got into overtime in the one we were playing, so that was really good. I've been playing Abiotic Factor, which is a great adventure survival crafting. It actually reminds me a lot of if you took like the survival crafting aspect of Rust and smashed it into the story progress of Portal. Like, that's what Abiotic Factor reminds me of. So I'm very excited. We only play that on Thursdays, and it's like a non-stream thing. It's just for me and a bunch of my friends. So that it's like casual and we can relax and enjoy it. But, whew. Go rest, please. Rest well. Yeah, other than that, Marvel Rivals, Rabbit and Steel, Barony. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Hey, rest well. Rest well and don't stress yourself out over exams. Find a way to study that works for you and take care of your health. And at the end of the day, it is just a test. While it may impact what you do in the future, your ability to handle yourself and what you do is far more important than any exam results. You know, you can always, there's always other routes to your goal. Shoot. Ignore me. I hit the wrong screen. Ignore me. I hit the wrong button. We're not ending. I hit the wrong button. But I wish you the best of luck, and please get some sleep. And don't stay on your phone too late, okay? I know there's a bunch of stupid articles that say that being on your phone is making you sleep less. It is. It is, because you're training your brain to say, oh, great, phone time is the bed. Phone time is the bed. So even if you do something slightly different, like you adjust your pillows if you're on your phone, or you sit on the floor against your bed while you're on your phone before bed, having that physical change is really important. One thing I noticed is that, hey, we will welcome you back readily. I stream every Monday and Tuesday around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturdays, whenever I am alive enough to stream. Whenever I feel like it. Because Saturdays I sleep in. You're probably fine. Yeah, today I took my own advice on that. And I'd had a bad habit of getting up from bed and getting my work computer and signing in and doing like what I needed to in the morning, and then just crawling back into bed and just staring at the screen for like a half hour, and I was like, I'm not getting stuff done. But today I was good, and while I still did that a little bit, it was for less time. And it was in a different room on the couch, and I had my cat with me, and I had sunlight on my face, so I actually got up and ate breakfast. So that's good. And I got work done. Okay, bye. Rest well. Thank you for stopping by and chatting. I relived many great memories of old ships in anime and manga. Which reminds me, Merlin, what were your top ships? What were your anime manga ships of your youth? Who did you always want to get together but never got together? Or did? I don't know. I mean, I guess Yuki and Kaname got together and it was very cursed. I dreamt too big. And I dreamt too soon for Vampire Night, and it was a mistake. One thing I do hate about manga and shoujo, especially as a binge shoujo reader, is that one thing that always bothers me in shoujo, and josei especially, oh my god, josei is so bad for this, but they'll always put like, they always do the bad boy side character love triangle thing, right? They always do that. And then when they do it, they always give the character a more, like, whatever it is, when there's a love triangle in a series, they always give the character with a more interesting story arc that literally spends more time with the protagonist that they're interested in. The short end of the stick, because they never get with the protagonist. Like, I get that you're building tension, but come on, man. Like, seriously? So, like, you've been seeing less of that in actual, like, literature fiction recently. So, you know, I really enjoyed Aqwah when I first read it. And then I reread it and actually thought with my brain. And I was like, yeah. Why am I thinking Thaniel? God, what's the... Because the bad boy is Rysand, right? So, like, I actually was like, you know what? It is good in a literary trope that they set up a love triangle for a very brief and poorly written period and actually let her get with the character that you spent more time with. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I think she did technically spend more time with the guy that kidnapped her. So I stand to note that the characters that have the most character development in love triangles and romance series are always the ones the character is never going to get with. Draw me like one of your French girls. Mimi, welcome. Ash, welcome. Sorry, I was on a train of thought about romance books and writing and all that stuff. Also, it's okay. You don't have to talk about manga here. It's just one of the last chatters was talking about manga. Oh my god, yeah. They give me anxiety too. I generally don't like them in series. That's kind of like I mean, sometimes it's nice, but I feel like when they start introducing love triangles in a romance series, it's a whole character and plot line that is never going to go anywhere because, and I'll say it here, in fictional media, because I'm asterisking this to fictional media. But in fictional media, people are cowards. Cowards. And God forbid they have like an actual messy relationship with multiple people dating at the same time. No. No, it's just gotta be like weird waffling between three people. Or like, I was reading another... listen, guys, you gotta understand. If you're new to the stream, I read trash fiction, trash romance fiction, manga, binge read it all. I'm there. I'm reading it. TV, not so much, but like, yeah. So sometimes there have been series where they start talking about like, oh, there's a love triangle going on, but oh wait, a fourth party has entered the battlefield. And when I tell you it's a love triangle, and then they bring in is two guys, and then they bring in and it's a girl, and then they bring in another girl, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going down. It's going down. Because it's a toss-up, whether it's horrifically traumatic or fantastic, and they're all happy in the end. And you never know. You never know. It's a train wreck. I read train wreck books. How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome to the slowest line art drawing you've ever seen in your life on stream, live for you. No brain cells, only smooth-brained, no wrinkles ever. My name is Commander Aqwah. I stream on Mondays and Tuesdays on YouTube Shorts and Vertical Mode and on Twitch. And I do art and video games, and sometimes I knit on stream. I just talk about life and whatever, and I'm a VTuber. Oh yeah, always a train wreck. Personally, like I like reading about polyamory in books because it's fictional and interesting, and people aren't as complex in a fictional setting as they are in real life, which makes it easier for that whole function to work, but I don't think I couldn't do it in real life. But maybe that's because hanging out with three friends exhausts me, so. Yeah, knitting. There was a fingy reveal. A thumb reveal stream. Where I set up my webcam, and I had it facing down on me knitting. It was cozy. This chin looks weird to me, but maybe I'll come back to it later. I gotta zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Epic thumb reveal. Yeah, because I have, because like I don't want to show all my hands because I have scars on my hands that'll like denote who I am. Maybe I'm paranoid. Okay. So I had gloves that I had used just because my hands get cold all the time. And they had the fingers, because I also have gloves for drawing so that my hand doesn't like stick on the screen. And they had the fingers removed on only one side because the gloves were like the last three fingers fully covered, and then the thumb and pointer finger had like little caps on the first digit that could come off, so I guess you could use your phone or whatever, and I had cut them off on one of them for drawing. So I have shown exactly 2 of my fingers on stream. 2, and one of them was a thumb that I had cut a small chunk off of with a hatchet. Chopping wood is dangerous, y'all. Yeah, I mean, my pro tip is you don't need to buy like specific drawing gloves for digital art. You should you should probably I recommend looking for like UV sun blocking gloves or compression gloves for arthritis because they're very cheap and they're easier to get. Seems like a story. Is it a story? No, it's not. I just did something really stupid, and I'm not used to handling an axe and chopping wood. And we had, I have a fireplace where I live now, and it was winter, and we had just bought a hatchet because it was our first time using the fireplace. I was like, oh, let me chop some wood, and it was stuck. And then I was just going to try and like chop a piece on the side, and I did a stupid and held it in place, and I'm very lucky to have my hand. I'm very lucky. So now I never want to touch it again. Ever again. Thankfully, there's no scar though, so I did a good job taking care of it. It was just bandaged up for like 2 months. So be very careful with sharp objects. But yes, I am very not easily injured, but how should I put it? I guess I am. I'm a clumsy person. Or easily distractible. I got diagnosed with inattentive ADHD like a year ago, 2 years ago, about a year ago now. And it's something I've struggled with my whole life, but I never put a finger on it. And yeah, it's more helpful to know that I have that, because I can realize when I'm getting stuck in like a distracted thought process is not making smart decisions, not like locked in, So there've been some mishaps and whatnot. I also bake a lot, and I will like stick my hand into the oven to go get stuff. And sometimes I singe a little burn on my skin. So, and I have a very bad habit of like picking at wounds. So like, I don't know if this is an everyone thing, but if I get like, I don't know, it's always like a burn wound or something. But if I get a, like a strip of burn on my skin from like touching my hand against the toaster oven or the oven or something, and it like scabs over, I feel the need to like, this is probably gross, but whatever, we talk about other stuff on stream, to like peel the scab, and it always gets like irritated and it scars so much worse that way. So like if I have scars on my body, it's because I didn't take care of the wound properly, not because it was an egregious wound. It was because I irritated it, because I get bored and I pick at it. But also, so hydrocolloid patches are really, really popular for zits, right? For acne. But they're also originally used for wound care, and you should definitely keep them in your house because they're fantastic for healing cuts, scrapes, bruises, anything that's not like super deep or bleeding a lot. If you just need it covered so that it doesn't dry out and get like irritated or infected, hydrocolloid patches are the way to go, and you can cut them down. They're fantastic. Oh yeah, there was a period where I wore fake nails almost every day because I would rip them off. And I do certainly I will over trim my cuticles and nails sometimes, so I try to at least wear nail polish so I don't pick at it. I feel like this is very Dorito chin coated. But I'll fix it if I need to later. Very Dorito chin coated. You're lacking medical stuff in the house. Yeah, I'd recommend any household to get a first aid kit, even if it's just like a pre-made kit, but get something with like open mesh gauze pads, normal gauze pads, paper tape. Neosporin can help, but I would read up on it because the scientific knowledge on it has changed. In a super emergency, you're going to want iodine. So your first aid kit will generally come with alcohol swabs and iodine swabs. Iodine can be used for disinfectant, but you have to be really careful with it because it can irritate and burn and even kill off skin cells, and kill off good bacteria. So you want to be really careful with that. Yeah. Dragon Facts, welcome in. Good evening. She went to get her nails done yesterday. I hope they came out nice. I hope it was a good time for her. Hey, I mean, that's fine. The hydrocolloid patches are really just a nice to have. You don't need them in your first aid kit, but I'd say if you can afford to, and you're interested, like I also use them still for like acne. If I get a really bad zit that's like irritated and painful or something, I'll still cut, like I pre-cut them into little tiny patches and I stick them on my face, and they look gross as hell. They're not as cute as the little tiny ones you get, but they do the trick. So I'd usually just put it on before bed, and you know, it'll make it a lot, because it soaks up any moisture that comes out of your skin. It'll make it a lot better. The rare time your oddly chosen chat icon is correct. You have no audio. Why do you have no audio? Why is that? Because I can hear my audio. Can you guys hear my audio? I'm talking with YouTube chat. What's going on, Dragon? Do you have me muted? Twitch is having some problems. Also, I'm just realizing, am I not seeing chat on the screen? What's going on? No, multi-chat's up there. I'm just missing it. Yeah, it's all good for YouTube. I don't know what's wrong with Twitch. Exactly. Classic Twitch L. I find the more that I stream on YouTube, the more that I'm like kind of anti-Twitch. Not that I don't love and adore everybody who comes to chat on Twitch. I do. I just feel like I have much more interesting conversations with the YouTube audience, because folks that come in on YouTube are not just here for video games, right? So I can talk and enjoy my hobbies of art and knitting and cooking and coffee and all these things. Whereas on Twitch, like, it's very gamer focused. I like doing too many things. Boobage. Yeah, we're on to the boobage, which I am. The boulder is conflicted on how to draw the boobage. The boulder cannot decide where to start. I appreciate that. I love people coming in. YouTube can definitely get a little bit weird because it is a wider audience, but I think it's a blessing and a curse. That's what I'll say. But I think that the community is growing still, and I think people didn't expect it to grow, but I think there's still a lot more potential there, especially with the fact that Twitter has been down like all day. No way. The one day that I complained on Blue Sky today, because I don't use Twitter, but I was complaining that there are a lot of Japanese artists that I really, really want to follow their work for, because they're fantastic, and I love seeing other artists' work, especially like a lot of Japanese artists I don't get to see that do just illustration work and manga. We don't see that all every day. They mostly still only use Instagram or X, and I'm just like, I don't use either of those, mainly because Instagram thought my VTuber account was a bot and immediately banned me. And I went, I'm not doing this again. Nope, no thank you. I was posting content on Instagram and it was like, nah, you're not a real person. And I was like, no way. Confirmed bot. Oh my god, I need to draw this upside down. Yeah, that's better. It sucks when good artists are locked to one or two platforms. Yeah. I mean, it's partially also, I don't imagine that Blue Sky is really all that popular widely at all. Or that, like, it's not the greatest for discoverability, too. So, like, if I was really going out of my way to try and find new people, it's very hashtag heavy, which is, like, a boomer thing, I feel like, at this point. So, although, I mean, I guess sometimes I get some good feedback. I posted about the last drawing stream because I was like, we had some really good conversations. People ask questions about how VTubers are made and all that stuff. So it's fun. Orb. Ponder the orb. I haven't seen a hashtag. I mean, they still exist. I just feel like using them, especially even on like TikTok, is more of a hindrance than it helps. So, you ponderous fool! While you were busy pondering your orbs, I was busy pondering hers. These boobs are very fake looking, but that's fine. It's for the art, man. Can you imagine Gandalf saying that? You ponderous fool! While you were busy pondering your orbs, I was busy pondering hers. Yeah, that's right. Your mother's orbs. Now fly, you fool. Be gone from this house. 3 cheers for professional old man wizard voice acting. Thank you. I like my wizard voice. We do a lot of silly voices here. A great many silly voices. Damn, those some good curves. We do it a little goof. A little tee-hee. A little ooh-woo. A little ooh-wah. Oh yeah, silly maxing all the way. Man, if I could force you guys to listen to new metal for the whole stream, I would. We'd listen to Korn all stream if I wouldn't get smote on Twitch and YouTube for it. Actually, this needs to come. It's too wide. No, you're always welcome to ask. art streams are not strictly about art. They're usually just me needing to get some work done and chatting. So on stream, I usually play Elden Ring because we started this journey in Dark Souls 3, where it probably took me a total of 12 hours to get through the literal tutorial boss of active fighting just that boss. So we start these games off rough, and then we get better and better as we go. So we played through, I would say, about 90% of Dark Souls 3, not including the DLC. And then my brother had gifted me Elden Ring, so I was playing that. And chat seems to enjoy heckling me while I play that game. And I seem to accidentally be doing challenge runs while I play this game because I don't like looking up tutorials and guides because it kind of ruins some of my fun of exploring the game. And then chat doesn't like to tell me things because I don't mind backseating as long as you don't get offended if I don't do what you say, you know? Like, you can suggest something. I just can't guarantee I'm going to do it. But not even considering it backseating, they failed to tell me some key mechanics of the game that were not clear, like leveling up your summons and jumping and jumping. So it's a fun time. Usually about every 2 streams or so, I find out a core game mechanic that's pretty important. Also, no one would let me know that I was super underleveled for the bosses I was trying to fight. So I'm like out here like 2/3 killing Margit the Fell Omen from Elden Ring. And I just have 2+2 daggers on me. And we're having a time. I'm singing Cardcaptor Sakura openings while we're doing it. And yeah, we got there. So I definitely venture a little farther out than I should be. Yes, but other than Elden Ring, I play a game called Dark and Darker, which is an extraction game a little bit like Tarkov, but it is based on Dungeons and Dragons. I play a Battlefield 5, which is one of my favorite video games of all time, and it is just a comfort game for me. So if you see me streaming Battlefield 5, it's pretty much just, all my streams are pretty much just a just chatting stream. Unless I am playing with someone else, I am always just chatting with chat. That is the stream. So I enjoy listening to some chill music and playing Battlefield. It is a relaxing game for me, despite the warfare going on. Yeah, Dark and Darker. Yes, so I've been playing Dark and Darker since... I've been playing Dark and Darker since Early Access 2. Playtest 2. I haven't played, I've kind of been off of it for a little bit just because there was a little instability with some of the recent patches that they put out, and I was like, I'm not enjoying it as much, you know? But I do still really enjoy and support the game and want to see it succeed. I usually play Ranger or Bard in Dad. So I played Druid a lot when it came out. I just changed my mind. I like to play the new classes when they come out, but I do like playing Ranger and Bard. Yeah, I think that's good. Ranger and Fighter tend to be your duo. Fighter... Okay, so I actually used to main... So during the playtest, I mained Barb when it was still like, run someone down 3 rooms away from you, Barb. Barbarian. And then I played Fighter for a very long time. And then I went to Ranger. But that's mostly because I was coming from Battlefield 5. So I'm used to playing a sniper in Battlefield 5, so Ranger was just kind of like, all right. Also, I had some really clutch trap placements when I play in a 3-stack. I just sometimes struggle to play Dark and Darker because I feel like the I almost wish there wasn't solo play. This is very controversial of me, but I almost wish there wasn't solos. Duos I can deal with, but solo, it feels like it's too difficult to balance. And I feel like it just ends up turning into a slap fight regardless, and everybody complains about balancing. But I've also almost always played with a trio of people that I know and that I talk to in a voice chat, and it is a wholly different experience from playing with randos. So I think avoiding combat is fine, especially while you're learning the game. I also don't personally enjoy PvP all that much. I like the PvE. I want to try and fight the bosses and do well and get good loot. PvP, I tend to enjoy more if I am in a group. But I think as far as it being like competitive, I think it's going to be too hard to balance solos versus trios. Especially because Dungeons and Dragons is a game based on having parties and people with different skill sets that need to be balanced. So to say that you're going to have a game that's competitive based on that combat class just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. So I still haven't killed the Warlord Commander dude. Spectral Knight. No, we did kill Spectral Knight. We got Spectral Knight. Warlord I haven't killed. We've done Ghost King. We've done Lich. I think at this point I've gotten Cave Troll and Cyclops. So it's just Frost Wyvern and Warlord are the two bosses I haven't killed. Oh, and Banshee. Yeah. Hello. Welcome in. Good evening. Welcome back. Hey, you gotta start somewhere. We used to only fight Lich. Like, Lich was the only boss we would fight. We wouldn't even try anything else. And now, even now, there's like conditions of like, okay, do we have enough healing for this boss? Do we want to do it? Do we want to risk it? So you gotta start somewhere and get comfortable with it. A lot of times I just need to be on like the same page as the group I'm with and say like, hey, do we want to do this today? Are we fighting bosses? Are we exploring? Are we looking for gear? That's usually what the method is. We are still drawing myself as Sophitia from Soul Calibur. Oh, why am I not charging? I'm still drawing myself as Sophitia from Soul Calibur, all of them. That's rough. I would say don't be afraid to try and find a group for it, and to reach out to people. The Dark and Darker community is a bunch of antisocial nerds. But I know that through the Discord, at least, there's less people in like the Gathering Hall chat anymore, which is kind of frustrating. But the Discord is generally a good place, or you could see if you can like find groups through streamers chats that are playing it. That would be pretty good. But the Discord has a full like looking for group thing. Thank you. I'm very happy with how this is coming out as well. Oh yeah, this is definitely very Dorito chin. Let's scooch her up a little. I may just have to redraw that. Maybe it's fine. I might be overthinking it. I feel like she's very Dorito chin right now. that's all good. That's fine. You can watch the stream on whatever platform you enjoy. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Especially with video games. Especially one like Dark and Darker. You never know who you're going to get. But I have found that just kind of saying like, hey, I may not talk that much, but I'd be happy to be in a voice chat and listen while we're streaming will make people feel more comfortable. So even if you just want to message them and say like, hey, I'm nervous. I don't feel comfortable speaking in comms, but I'm happy to listen for quick calls. Also very helpful. There have been times where I would just join pickup groups for Dark and Darker and not say a single thing in a voice call and just be like, hey, I'm sick. Can't talk today. And just listen. And honestly, a lot of times that went better because we're not trying to talk over each other. So I'm functioning on the knowledge of like, I can't tell them to do something. I just have to listen to what they're saying and like support them. So hello, welcome, Wyman. Just talk to YouTube. That's fine. Welcome in. Good evening. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I don't necessarily like how this is hooked up. It needs to be more like that, and then something's bothering me about the angles here, sorry. Yeah. Well, no. I'm just gonna sketch this out before I try and draw it in. So I feel like it almost needs to be like that. But I think I'm also mistaking the... Yeah, I'm mistaking the pauldron for the shirt here. I did. I liked your sketch. It was very good. Keep up the good work. Keep practicing. And like I say, and like I said earlier in the stream, don't be afraid to fail. Drawing things from different angles or perspectives that you're not used to is just as important as drawing things that you think you can, or you think you know you can do well, right? So I used to always hide hands behind the waist, right? I used to always hide the hands on hips, behind the waist, and you know, if I can still get out of it in this drawing, I did. But I at least try to make it make sense with the pose and do things that are more dynamic. Because even if I don't think I can succeed in doing it, I will have learned something and improved by trying, right? Also use reference. Always look at references. And it doesn't have to be a literal reference. A lot of times people, new artists, when they are drawing, think that drawing references means copying the image exactly, right? But a lot of times reference can mean, like say for this pose, I used a 3D model posed out for it. It's not the exact character design. The hair is not there. The outfit's not there. It's just the pose. I could find like a photo from a magazine and say like, oh, I want to draw Megumin from Jujutsu Kaisen in this really cool, like, I always enjoy seeing the artists that draw the characters in like fashion magazine poses. Those are fun. They do them as studies. And I think it also helps you understand how to translate what you're seeing from like a character or a reference photo or a pose to something in your imagination. So you're kind of bridging that gap by using a reference that is not a literal example of what you're going to draw, you know? All right. How much do I care about this actually having edges? I don't know. Hey, have a good night. Thank you so much for chatting and stopping by. I hope you find a group soon. Get to play some Dark and Darker. Get that treasure. Have fun. Bye. Good night. Do you believe in life after love? And I try to find somebody else. Num num num. I gotta admit, this might be a short one tonight, though. Still, yeah, daylight savings hit me so hard today. So hard. I almost didn't stream. I was almost like, I just want to take some allergy medicine and go to bed. I'm so sleepy. It hit me so bad. I'm not even ready. It's not even daylight. It's like the end of daylight savings time. It's daylight returning time. So we've sprung forwards, which means the clocks went forward this morning. So you all lost an hour of sleep, essentially. Wee, I'm sleepy. Wee, wee, wee. So one thing that I think makes the chest area look really nice when you're drawing it, and that I'm a sucker for, is when you get to see the little area where, like, this part where they, like, connect, you know? It feels more realistic to me. I'm, like, trying desperately to, like, reference with my hands what I'm talking about. Failing miserably. An expert. You are never an expert in drawing the booba. You're forever a student, because we're always trying to learn more and improve. Never an expert, always a student. At least that's my motto. Because then I get to keep drawing them. I've never mastered the skill. I was raised in it. Yeah, that was the same energy. You merely adopted the booba. I was raised in it. Born in the darkness between each teat. Drinking the drips of gross VTuber sweat. I have a warlock. No, I had a barbarian. I have a barbarian in Dark and Darker named VTuber Grime. VTuber keyboard grime. That's what it is. So don't forget to clean your gross, crusty mouse and keyboard. Yeah, nasty. Careful, you're starting to sound like an Orange County housewife. So I will ask you the same question chat proposed earlier, which is, of your anime and manga ships, what couple do you ship and what show are they from? Thick Eren Yeager mousepad. I never found those I don't use a mousepad. Yeah. I raw dogged my desk. What did I say? Yeah. I don't use a mousepad. I just use my mouse on my desk. Because I have a cat. And I feel like, one, my cat destroyed all of my mouse pads as soon as I got them. She just claws at them and tears them apart. And then I feel like they always get dirtier than when they started. Is that Mahoko Tensei? Jobless Reincarnation? What am I thinking of? No. Because that... Maybe? It's got the kid with the, like, tan, brown hair, right? I've probably read it. I just don't remember all the isekai names. Yeah, Mahoko Tensei. Okay, so I have watched Mahoko Tensei. I did not finish watching it. Whoops. Mushoku Tensei. Yes. I did not finish watching it because I hate the characters. I'm sorry. I hate the characters. I don't like them. They're annoying. It just didn't click with me. But it's not to say that it's a bad series. A lot of people really, really enjoy it. I may go back and revisit it and enjoy it. But at this point, no. What's it like? What are the isekai that I enjoyed? I gotta see what anime there are. I'm looking at a list now. So, I've seen ReZero. It's okay, but it's too slow and the story's probably never gonna get finished. Obviously Redo of a Healer is cursed. Misfit of the Demon King Academy was good for like a couple of episodes and then I was like, nah. Summon for Another World for a second time I read the manga for and I didn't care for it. Skeleton Knight in Another World was pretty good. The World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated in another world. I actually really enjoyed, and I want to go back and make sure I watch the second season. The time I got reincarnated as a slime, I enjoyed the manga for. Could not keep up with the anime. But I did catch up fully up on the manga. That was good. Didn't care for Farming Life in Another World. Konosuba, season 1 and 2 I really liked of Konosuba. I liked the movie. Season 3 I was just explaining that I didn't like because it feels like they've completely changed Darkness's character and I'm so confused as to what's going on. Ended up dropping Drugstore in Another World. No longer in Another World I read the manga for and I enjoyed. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess in Another World I also read as the manga before it got an anime and it was really good. It's still ongoing though. The Great Cleric, I think this is the one I was Watching? No. I think it was like pharmacist in another world or something. You forgot what Chainsaw Man was for a minute? Oh no. I read all of Chainsaw Man. I thought it was okay. I am letting it cook for a little while to see how long the series goes, and then I'm going to catch up with it. What else do we got? I also read Villainous Level 99 and maybe The Hidden Boss was good. The anime was pretty good for that too. Saving 80,000 gold in Another World for My Retirement has a very good manga. It got a bad anime adaptation. Bofuri is not really an isekai. They're in a video game, but it's hilarious and great, and Bofuri was good. Freerun is very good. Freerun is great. Freerun is one of the few shows where I'm like, the anime is better than the manga. I have not seen A Silent Voice. It was not on my... I don't know. It's just never on my radar to watch. Campfire Cooking in Another World, I read the manga for. That was very good. Oh, yes. So probably my favorite isekai series so far, one of them, is as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. And I think the anime has a style that could be considered off-putting, because the manga has a very, like... It has a very distinct inking style in the manga, and I think it can make people a little put off in the anime because they made it very, like, shiny. But it's a really good story, and I would recommend that. I really hope they continue it. I watched a lot of the manga, the anime for that, too. There's so many isekai series. I watched one of the original isekai series when that genre first started, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash or something like that, and it was a really beautiful series, and I was really interested to see the rest of the story, and then it got canceled, and I was like, oh, okay. I own like 9 mangas. Well, I would recommend seeing if you can get a library card for your local library, because usually they have a service that lets you either check out or read manga digitally. That's a great option. I know if you have a little bit of income that you can use, Shonen Jump has a very cheap subscription for reading manga on their app. I have watched a little bit of Black Clover. I had trouble getting into it, but that's not to say that I won't go back and follow it. With shonen, it's one of the things that I go back to when I have to be in a mood for it, you know? So I actually went back and ended up watching 7 Deadly Sins like years after it had released and stuff. So, well, if you want to color them, yeah, then you have to buy them or digital and take screenshots. But if you can resist, libraries are great. But I did the same thing. The manga I have a couple of books of Maho Sensei Negima. And yeah, I had a full omnibus volume. It was like 3 volumes in one. That was like one of the first manga I bought all by myself. And the binding fell in half because it was 3 volumes in one, and it was, you know, soft-bound book, so the binding fell in half. And then from there, I just started cutting characters out of it and making scrapbooking and coloring them. I think that's a wise decision. My brother also only watches finished anime. I'm just a gourmand, and I like to... Not a gourmand. I'm a manga glutton. I like to read all the manga. All of it. And I'll go through phases where I'm like, I'm going to read isekai. I'm going to read historical romance. I'm going to read school, like slice of life manga. I'm going to read comedy manga. I'm going to read shonen. I'm going to read action series. I'm going to read sports series every once in a while. So I just go through all of it. Hey, no problem. Take it easy. Rest well. I'm going to be shading this. I don't need to go as detailed in the line work. Reminder to self. I don't need to be as detailed of line work. A male variation of my character. How saucy are we talking? Because I can do that. Although, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to do the other outfit because, you know, it came to my realization when we played Final Fantasy VII on stream that my character's outfit is Cloud Strife's outfit. This was not my intention. I had never played Final Fantasy VII. I'd just seen it through other stuff, and I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, we can do that. No sauce. Got it. Same exact outfit. Booba window and all. Buff and tall. I can do buff and tall, but I think we gotta do a little chubby too. Because it's cute. It's cute. It's gotta be a little chubby too. We need more chubby male characters. I'll say it. Damn it. Dudes need to feel good about their bodies too. Because it's cute. I may sketch it out. Depends on how much time I have. I've gotten like nothing done today. Sometimes you just have days like that where you get almost nothing done. Certainly feels that way. That's weird. Okay. I can't wait for them to never have them in stock because Fryer's broken. Although I guess it makes sense. If they figured out the logistics of like getting the donuts to rise, I don't see why they couldn't be able to because they already have the Fryers. They're trying to distract people by from how expensive the food is. Don't buy it. Should have added pizza. Nah, make your own pizza, man. It's so easy. I made pizza 2 nights ago. And then I had pizza for 2 days because I made too much dough. But pizza dough is really easy. There's so many recipes for no-knead pizza dough. So all you need are the ingredients in a bowl. And it's active dry yeast, which you can get very, very cheaply at the grocery store. Salt, bread flour, water, and maybe olive oil. That's it. And you just mix it together in certain ratios. So if you have the ability to weigh it, you can weigh it. Otherwise, there's like cup equivalents online. Good evening, Suf. How are you? We are drawing a kneecap right now. And I'm explaining how easy pizza is to make. Because you can also, I would recommend for pizza, buy pre-made sauce. It's going to taste closer to a restaurant. 500. What? Why are we talking about 500 cigarettes? YouTube chat. What's up? I am alive. I'm having one of those days, you know, in the States, we just had daylight savings, which means all of our clocks went back an hour. And I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying. Yeah, I'm very tired. I got nothing done today. We've got nothing done all stream. We've just been chatting the whole time, but that's okay. Because I didn't cancel stream, even though I was tired. We're still here, and even though I'm saying we got nothing done, we drew some lines for some booba, and some hair, and some legs. Well, that means you need to get more sleep. Go to sleep. Booba. I like big booba and I cannot lie. And I was, why even try was just asking if I would draw a male version of my character. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, they need to be tall and ripped. And I was like, yeah, but also chubby. Just a little chub. Because it's cute. Sleep. And I'm like having a come to Jesus moment with myself right now about line art, which is that I think I might literally just draw the outer line art for the most part and like the major things, and I'll just paint everything else in because I end up doing that anyway. I prefer rendering and painting rather than line work. And I always come into this contrast where the line work I'm drawing doesn't match up with what I want to paint, and I just have to either paint over or erase the line work, or it looks like it's misaligned. So what if I just don't put the line work in there to start with? Did I draw the blue lines? Yeah. Yeah, so this is a sketch. I just have a layer setting on it that makes it blue. This is a sketch, and I thought maybe I could just work from the sketch for rendering, but no, I gotta do line work. Can I turn this off right now? Or no? Anyway, I have a filter on it to make it blue. It was gray. It was pencil colored, but the sketch is essentially there's a very messy sketch, a cleaned up sketch where I'd figure out what's going on in the design, and then a line work layer, and then I do color. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad people are noticing. I tend to get very fiddly with the shading, and yeah, if we really want to talk about detail in artwork, I'm going to show off my eyeballs for a second, because do you see how there's little lines? Yeah. I like doing little details like that. Stuff that you're never really going to see, but it helps make texture happen. Oh no! Well, the glasses are coming off. I picked them up by accident. Oopsie. And you get to see the sin. I think you just noticed the sin of this drawing mode. The arm's not attached. It's not attached. I mean, I can... There we go. The arm is not attached. Pay no mind. I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it did. I remembered the hotkey for it. I can say I didn't do the glasses myself. I was very lucky. I was looking on a website called Booth, which is a Japanese, kind of like an Etsy asset store. And you can find certain VTuber assets on there. And I found some live 2D cubism glasses that I was able to customize and edit. Though, looking at it now, the preset I have is not on the correct layer because it's in front of my hair instead of behind it. And Live 2D added a wonderful little feature, if I take a second, where I can actually shove things into different layers. Let's see. There we go. So I can bring it back behind my hair. Boop. And because my hair is a little transparent to show my eyes, it looks pretty cool. So I like that. I like how that came out. Do not mind the see-through hair. It cannot hurt you. Where's the layer that the leg is drawn on? Oh no. What's going on? Oh, okay. I scrolled down, that's why. I was like, where is the layer? My character's powers. Aiming with an NTW 20 and other sniper rifles. Resilience, endurance. Not patience, but resilience and endurance for sure. Mostly aiming though. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to be lore accurate. A space NTW 20. Or a 50. If we're feeling spicy. Or a 50. Depends on the range. Are you asking what my stand is? And I mean, I guess if you consider probably being like slightly over irradiated a power, maybe that counts. But it just sounds like it's part of the job. My mom lets me swim in radiation waste. I feel like I need to make the pen tool thicker, but I also feel like it's fine. I have not heard of that. Ah! I moved the line layer. I turned the physics up too much today, guys. I was trying to fix something, and because normally I can like slide around a little bit, and I changed the physics a little bit too much. I'm gonna have to turn that down a little. Here, let's bring that back down a little bit. Not too much, you know, not too much. Oh, yeah, no, I know Gaster from Undertale. Yeah, I've played Undertale. I was actually considering replaying Undertale on stream. Because I kind of want to play Bullet Hells. I was going to play Toho games, but it's very difficult to find the translated Toho games on any platform at this point. And I was like, but I want to learn all the lore. Listen, I'm telling you, guys, like, folks, if you are into FNAF lore videos, if you are into Undertale lore building and this kind of stuff, you are missing out on your ancestors, which are the wildly popular fan franchises for obscure games and video games, aka visual novels for the most part, that have huge like lore and fan communities that are interesting to read about. So I would say look at the when they cry universe. So Higurashi when they cry, Ume Neko when they cry. Ume Neko, okay, so UMINEKO, yes, that is seabird or sea cat. It is when the seagulls cry. When the Seagulls Cry. And it is a visual novel that changed my life because it was one of the best works of literature I've ever read. It is longer than 2 Bibles put together and all of the Game of Thrones books in just text. But it is a banging visual novel and it has one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. So read it. It's great. And it works very well if you purchase Ume Neko on Steam Link. Or sorry, if you purchase Ume Neko on Steam as a visual novel, you can read it on your phone using Steam Link to your PC, and it works really well. So there's my ramble, but in before I go viral, that would be nice to have some of my bills paid, but unlikely. I did just ask a music producer whose songs I like. They do like utau songs, and I really want to do a cover of it. It's so good. If you like Vocaloid music and certain songs, you should listen to Jamie P's music. I specifically have been mildly obsessed with the song Machine Love, because while it's about a robot falling in love with a person, I just like relatable feels as a VTuber and a streamer, you know, and it's very sweet. And also they made a song about "You're Telling Me a Shrimp Fried This Rice." Solid gold. That wouldn't make sense though. Gold is soft. Gold is too soft. Gold's too soft. Your companion ready from the start. Proposition. Knees. I like want to carry that up, but I don't need to. You can do it with shading. You can do it in the painting process later. Aqwah, you can shade it later. That's fine. Honestly, at this point with the Lineart, I'm kind of just hopping around. Do I have a process of where I want to go? No. Am I avoiding the eyes? Yes. It's probably going to be the last thing I draw in. Because I feel like I always, when I do line work, I always make the eyes too heavy. And I have to go in and fix them later. So if it's the last thing I draw, I can make it comparative to the rest of the work that I'm drawing. Seems like a good hack, you know? That's also why I've learned to start like hopping around with what I'm drawing, so I don't make one part hyper detailed if I'm like stuck on something. I just like do a couple lines here, go to the other side, do a couple lines, easy enough. Come and go in a preposition. Ba, 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 da, da, da. Mm-hmm. Oh, Merlin, I think I would pass the fuck out too. You ate fried cheese and then drank a milk. Oh, I thought you said a milkshake. A milk tea. I mean, I think I'd still pass out. That feels like it's very calorically dense. Well, now why did you take the opportunity to have a milkshake instead? Double up on your milk, Merlin. What are you doing? Well, let me see. How can I answer that? I sometimes do administrative stuff for work, and I sometimes do military stuff for work, and I sometimes do art stuff for work. But I can't say what I do other than being an outpost commander. So, you know, we're in the adjacent sphere of that. What is that, Merlin? Do I need to Google that? Should I be concerned? A propaganda? Is this the... Merlin's telling me I'm head of propaganda for the Xenomorph franchise government? Merlin. You know we got the radioactive rats, okay? The Predator films. I will not confirm or deny the moral compass of my employer, but I will confirm that my team of people at this outpost are very good. And they are good people, and they work hard, and they're great creative individuals regardless of what they do. What in the Ligord's Norb? Give rolls. No! I refuse. No, I'm not making some like weird ass hierarchy on my Discord. You got me and you got the mods, and you have other streamers that I have pointed out, mainly the Ratterday crew. That's it. That's what you get. And that's because I talk about the rats a lot, and everybody is confused because my lore talks about radioactive rats, and Merlin may be a radioactive rat, but he's also a wizard. You crave authority. Your illithid mind powers will not work on me. I should make a rat emote. Yeah. And you know, so when I discovered that about the outpost, I wasn't even really thinking of the Ratterday crew. It just so happened that I was thinking of like ships and how there are always rats on ships. You know? So, radioactive rats. You know, if there's anything to be true, it's that there are roaches and rats everywhere. The immortal rat. Nah. Are you sure it's not just clones of the same rat instead of an immortal rat? Are we sure it's the same rat? I think they've just been replacing the rat in your sleep and flushing the old one. Merlin, have you been replacing Lucha in our sleep and flushing the old one? That sounded darker than I expected it to. %, recycled materials. Well, at least it's good for the environment. They're feeding the old rats to the new rats in juice boxes. Oh, egads. Curves. My foe. Oh, he's booted up Monster Hunter. Berlin's gonna go feed rats to the dragon. Rathlow's gonna get you. I'm being publicly shamed. Yeah. I mean, there's a game that I played the demo for on Steam that I am shocked I did not get a Steam message for that was like, ho, 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 you're playing this. And now I've been emboldened because it has a Twitch safe mode. And I'm like, should I buy this visual novel and play it? Because it's got a clearly clickbaity game that it's going to be an adult game on Steam, but it's not. It's really not that bad. It's not worse than an anime or anything, so. But the title is questionable. 52 hours. Jesus. Yeah, I've been enjoying my time because I'm not playing Monster Hunter, and there's like 3 or 4 of us in the Discord that aren't playing Monster Hunter, and we just are playing all the games we don't get to play because no one else likes them. Extra gaming time because our usual game groups are all playing Monster Hunter. No worries. You're fine. I actually really need to finish up though, because my throat's killing me. And I should go to bed. Here for a good time, not a long time. We made some progress. Look at those legs. Look how nice they look. Hair's done though, so that's good. Made some progress on the booba because that was the treat to myself to draw that. And we're just going to get the base shapes done for the line work. Not going to get too much into the details, and then we'll color it. I'm hoping to come back to this if we do another stream for this drawing at a coloring stage with the flats done. So you can just go full into shading and rendering and have fun with it. All that stuff. But that being said, it is going to be the end of the day. I'm going to have to finish up for the night. And I think I'm just gonna have a quiet exit this evening. I hope everybody has a great night. Doc is probably streaming. If you want to check out Doc Brennan on Twitch, I'll post the link. But I'm probably not going to do a raid because I'm tired. I want a stealth raid, okay? Like $50. Yeah, Doc's working on their text adventure game, so I will post a link. And it's just Doc's a great chatter, wonderful person to listen to. If you want something to listen to for the rest of the evening, I definitely recommend checking it out. Have a good night, everyone, and I will catch y'all later. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll probably play an Elden Ring. Bye-bye.